Okay, so I'm not going to be able to do too much for the first half of this video. I'm just going to do like the what you see here, which is putting the back pieces on the main armor thing. This is that main armor piece that goes across the chest. I did all the measuring already. I didn't want to do it on camera because you've already seen that. I'm just gluing this all together so that you can see what it looks like when it's all finally done. Well, done as far as the gluing and cutting and whatever. It's obviously not done as far as being actually finished goes, but it's really close to that, actually. After all of this, I just need to put the trim on it, which would be the pieces that go on either side of the top and bottom that are a different color. I believe they're gold or yellow or something. Oh my god, there is none. I did not notice that. So this one doesn't have any of that on it. So that's cool. I can just straight up paint this. That works out way better. And I'm way happier about that. It's less work I gotta do. But the piece that goes under this, that lays across the stomach, that piece, it has this trim that goes on the bottom of it. So I'm gonna be doing that and showing you how to pretty much make that. Alright, so I accidentally made this part lip up a little too much. It's hard to see, but this part is like, you can hear my nail hitting across it. It didn't go flush because of the way I did it. I can fix that later though. But this is the finished piece now. I just need to put some straps on it. I'm gonna make it a buckle thing where on the back sides here, there we go. Let's see if I can, there. So this would go around the body. This would be in where your body sits. This would go around your back like this. And I'm going to make it so that there's a strap that goes from inside here to inside here with a buckle in the middle so that I can easily just, it's going to be one of those parachute clips where it has the two sides you press in and it unbuckles. I'm going to do one of those, and that'll make it so that I can take it apart and put it back on with relative ease. That way I don't have to slip it on, and it's just a little bit better. Alright, so like I said, the next piece we're going to do, this is the front piece that sits around the stomach under that armor piece. And across the top, well not the top, just across the bottom I guess, is the only place we're going to have to worry about this. Now this, I did have this indent in here because of where I made a straight line across. And I'd already glued it all together and I don't want to remake this. So I'm going to make this a little bit thicker than normal so that the yellow covers this. I just happen to have a loose piece of yellow here. I didn't expect to have a loose piece of yellow exactly, but that works because that's the exact color that I'm going to be using anyway. I'm going to be painting over it, so it doesn't really matter. But so what we're going to do is line everything up. So as you can see, I'm lining this up at the bottom here and leaving a little bit of space. I don't know exactly how much space that is. I don't really care. I know that this is thick enough to cover that and look fine. So we just keep it measured up nice and neat. That's dead. Awesome. Do that. And then on the other side, I'm gonna do the exact same thing and just match up the line. I know you probably can't see that, but it's matching up the big line that I made there. So now I'm just, there we go. And then finish the line off. And there you go. Now you have a straight line. And I am going to use the ruler when I cut it. This is gonna be a little difficult. So I gotta flip it back over. I'm gonna cut it on the outside edge because that's where the ruler was. Shit. This knife is freaking terrible. So I have to redo that. So I don't know what is wrong with this. I think it's because this table's all cut up now. This doesn't cut straight anymore. Even on the ruler, it veers off this way. I don't know why. I think it's because this table has so many cuts in it now that it just tries to follow one of the cut lines. But they all seem to go this way, like away from the ruler. And it's really weird. I can hold it and pull myself towards the ruler, but it'll still pull off the ruler. And I don't know why. It's really weird. But I just ruined that. So I have to do it all over again. So, yay me. Alright, going a lot slower did help. So, that's good. And I know that's basically a straight line, so it's not going to be perfect, but it's good enough. So I can just keep doing this actually, because I have something the exact size and I don't have to trace the piece that I just cut out. Usually I would have to put this piece down and trace the same size. But since I'm using something that is the size that I want cut out, I don't have to do that. And I am cutting again on the outside of the permanent marker because this is just slightly thinner than I want it. So if you guys look, this completely covers, oh, you can't see that. Boom. This completely covers the mess up there. So that's what I wanted. So we're gonna do it that way. All right, so now what I'm doing, it's even harder to see because God forbid, I'm overlapping this. I'm putting it where one corner meets the corner where the dip is in this. And then I'm lining it up as close as possible. And then I'm marking where the center is. That way I know exactly where to cut. Now, what I'm gonna do is take my scissors and cut it. Now it's cut at an angle. Now it'll match up nicely with that. And then I can just make this angle on one of these pieces by just putting them back to back. And boom, now we have two angled pieces. So now it'll go like that. And then these pieces are, since they're foam, they'll easily, like, yeah, they'll push down and stretch over this this curve here when you glue them down. So you don't have to really worry about that. But I would make sure you know roughly how big this is going to be. I'm just going to eyeball it when I glue it because it's not a big deal. The stuff I use to seal it will cover it up good enough. So if you guys want to, you can make like an outline with the marker of where you know this is going to go, and then just fill in that little spot with glue. But I know roughly how big these are, so it's not a big deal. So we're just gonna coat this. Actually, before we coat this, ow, I had a splinter. That was annoying. All right, before we cut this, I forgot. We are gonna have to do this, figure out exactly how far this is gonna need to go, because this is longer than one of these pieces. So we're gonna mark that. There we go. And then we're gonna cut off the excess. So now that's the length of just this piece here. So as you can see, or maybe not see, the line is here where they were glued together, and this went pretty far over it. So I cut that off, and then the next piece is gonna go right there, and then we're gonna cut that off too. But you don't have to worry about cutting that one off yet, because you can just cut it off the end. Now we can start gluing this down. So with the back sides up, and these are dirty, these are on my floor, so they're kind of dirty. But what you're gonna do is make sure that there's no like dust or dirt or anything on them before you glue them. Actually, a really good life hack for that, take some tape. This is a good life hack for getting like dog hair and stuff off of you. If you roll it up and then just roll it up and down your shirt like a lint roller, it does the exact same thing. It's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna leave these on here when I glue them because, I'm gonna hold them. I'm just gonna set them down on there so they don't get dirty. Actually, yeah, I can do this just fine. The better idea would be to do this over like another piece of foam or something, or a piece of paper of some kind that won't get picked up by the glue. That way you don't accidentally get glue on the piece you're working on. Now we're going to be making all of the trim for the arm pieces. So for this arm piece here, we're going to be making the trim that goes all the way around the top, around the bottom, and then that little design that goes in here. It looks like it's just like a V design. It's really hard to make out what's going on in this picture because the side view, or this front view, which would be the side of the arm piece, which would be a profile view of the arm, would be where the point is up here, the higher point, and the bottom point is down here. And it looks like it goes all the way down like a V going across it, where the center mark, this long center mark here, would be where the V splits off at. But if you look at the profile view of the character, where it's a more front-on view of the piece, where you can see it where it should be with the center line here facing you, where you should see the V split off, it's not centered, which is really weird. It's centered here, but at a side view it's not centered. So I'm just gonna kind of guess the way this goes. So I have made this, which is the same shape as the arm piece. This is one half of it. So I'm just gonna make the trim on here, Now we just need to make this into a pattern. So the way we do that, well, this bottom one we can just cut out like that. And now this one, I'm going to cut it out outside the line. Let's shape that one a little bit better. And then, so the pattern for the top piece is going to be showing the silver lines from where I drew, for the pattern anyway. And and the bottom one isn't, because I kind of messed this one up when I was drawing it out. So that looks like it works out just fine. Yeah, I'll keep that. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I can retrace my bottom piece here, and I can make it just a little bit bigger than what I have here, because this was the exact size and it's got to go around it a little bit. So I'm going to make it a little bit longer, and I'm just going to make 2 of those. So I did this off camera by accident. So if you can see here, I made it just a little bit bigger. So we're going to cut that out, and then after we cut this out, we're going to trace it again, and we got to do that 4 times. So I have now cut out all of this, and these are mirrors of these, and I've put 1 and 2 so that I know which ones go to which. So we're going to glue those together, but we are also going to be cutting out another couple of these shapes. I will be cutting out more of these before I glue anything down, obviously. Just telling you before I turn the camera off. And then I'm going to be cutting out 4 of these, and then we'll glue these down as well. So I'm down to 2 sheets of black left. It's a good thing I have a silver Sharpie, because black won't show up on black. This is going to be a little more difficult than I wanted it to be, but I guess we'll just have to see what happens. So I'm going to have to make everything bigger on this. That sucks. Okay, I hope that's big enough. Let me make sure. Okay, it's a little bit bigger than that one. My main problem was this side, so yeah. Alright, so this skinnier side, I'll just make this much longer. That way I can't screw that up. So that should work. Let's cut that out, and then we'll make another one and see what happens. Alright, let's test this one out now. That goes over enough, this goes over enough, and that goes over. Okay, that's awesome. That is basically just what I wanted. Now I'm going to do a mirrored version. And now I'm tracing this one specifically instead of the first one, because since I made this one bigger, I need to have this size, and I don't have to re-measure or anything. Alright, so I have 2 now. Where'd that... Uh-oh. I accidentally put it on the floor. Alright, so now I have 2. These seem to work fine, so I am going to make 2 more, because I do need 4 of them. So I have another black piece here, and I'm just going to trace 2 more of these out that are mirrored to each other, and then cut those out. So we got one side done already, and I'm just going to be gluing on this second side. I was just waiting for it to dry. So now I'm just going to be putting this on here, and it is longer than it needs to be. The pieces, like the little arms of this piece, it looks like a T almost. If you can see, it looks kind of like the letter T. So here, here, and here are longer than it needs to be. Might as well just keep it like that. So I do have to cut off bits of it, but I wanted to do that after I was done gluing it down. You can see how much longer this is. So now I have to cut that off, and I was waiting until I got, yeah, here we go, until I got everything glued on, because that way I could cut them off to the right size. There we go. It's not the best. It could look a little bit better, but it's not the worst either. So now this piece, when it's on, looks like this. It's pretty neat. I like it. So it's gonna sit like this. So the back side would be like that. Yeah, that looks really cool. So this and all this raised black edges, the yellow and the black will be yellow or gold or whatever. I might just make it all yellow because it looks like it's a little bit brighter, and it looks more of a yellow shade, and then everything else is going to be red. And the same goes with the rest of the armor that I made. I still have to put everything together for the second one of these. I haven't even shaped them yet, so I have to still do that and then put all the pieces on it. But I can do that off camera because you only need to see one of these. So this is one of them done before I start the painting process. I still do need to, on this one, it was kind of hard to see when I first did it, but I was able to zoom in and show you. There's these gaps still. I haven't got super glue yet, so I can't glue those together all the way just yet. But once I do get some super glue, I will be doing that too before I paint everything. And then I'm going to use Plasti-Dip and just regular paint. Plasti-Dip and regular paint, just regular spray paint to do everything. And then I'm probably going to go over all of this in brushed yellow because it'll be a little bit easier to do that way. And I do have a yellow that could work, so, and I have a lot of it, so that could be fine. We'll see what happens. But I want to show you my armor. It's on the dress form right now, so let me just take this off of here and let's go over to the armor. So I say go over to as if this isn't like literally right behind me, so that's kind of funny. But anyway, so as you can see, I got the trim on here and everything. This is about as good as this is gonna get. Let me see if I can get a good angle here. The lighting is gonna suck because I don't have a light on this, and right now it's only taped, so these seams right here are not going to be glued together. They're actually going to be having two straps that have buckles on them, and I don't have the buckles with me, but I have them somewhere. And actually, yeah, I don't think I have the buckles. I have this big thing of stuff, but it looks like I don't have the buckles. They're just the kind like you would see in a cart at the grocery store, the kind that hold the kids in. It'll be like that, but it'll be holding these together basically, and that's about as good as I can get. And this angle is really hard to film. I don't have this on a tripod, so as you can see. But anyway, it'll be for both of those, and it does go under. And yeah, so that's how the armor looks. So as for right now, other than doing the other one of these off camera, I have nothing else that I can work on currently. The problem I'm having now is the shoulder armor, which I wish these would stop rolling around everywhere. So the shoulder armor has this weird shape to it that, let me just do that. So this shoulder armor has this weird shape to it that I just can't seem to get. Atlas says that he has a couple of ideas, so we're gonna see what he can come up with. So I have to go down to Atlas's house because I have to grab my props and stuff that I left at his house from KomoriCon. I left my Sword Art Online stuff down there. I have to take a train back, so I couldn't bring any of my props at all. I was only able to bring the costume portions of my stuff back. And I've had to leave my cloud armor, almost the whole cosplay basically, down there because I can't get that in a suitcase either to bring home. So I'm going to pick that up as well probably. We'll see what happens. But he said he does have some ideas, so we're going to try those out. And then I'm going to get the helmet pattern from him that he has for his Mega Man helmet, because that'll make the base helmet for this costume. And then I can build the front just off of that. That'll be easier to pattern. But the main part of the helmet is going to be a pain in the butt. So I do have to work on these next. There's these two little armor pieces that come off, and it looks like they wrap around the body. So I can make them like one half where this point goes. God, I need to keep zooming. So there's this point here. This is the center. I can make them I can make this one go to that point, and the other one looks like I can just figure out where the halfway mark is or something. I'll figure something out. But it looks like I can do those fairly easily. Those will take up multiple pieces of foam. The problem is, I'm down to one piece now, or 1 1/4, I think, of a piece. So I don't have enough to finish. So I have to do that, and I don't have any money right now. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to end this one after showing this stuff. It depends on how long it is. If not, then the next thing you're going to see is me going to Atlas's house, and we're going to be working on the patterns there. Alright, so upon editing all of the footage that you guys just saw, which was all before, I still haven't even left Atlas's house yet. I think I'm going this weekend. This is, the 28th, I think. This is the same day the very first of these videos came out. So, that day. This Sunday, I'm going to his house, and we're going to be doing the shoulders, or figuring out the shoulders. I'm going to be getting the helmet pattern, and then we're going to somewhat talk about the wings. I don't really know exactly how I'm going to do that yet. Anyway, I want to show you guys. I did do a lot more work on this, as you can see. So, the actual pattern should... Here, we'll just do this. It's a little bit difficult to see here. You can see this curve here. I wanted to do that since the beginning, and I didn't think I could, but this is about as good as this is going to get. It's not exactly a very good curve, but it's close enough. But then I also got this neck guard thing. I don't know what that's called, but it's it goes in front of the neck. But anyway, I thought I would give you guys just this quick update right here because this is the end of this video. So the next video might actually look a little bit more like a vlog because I'm going to be going down to Atlas's and we're going to film figuring out the rest of this costume.